Jaromir Jagr was fresh off of his 4th consecutive scoring title when the Penguins gave him the boot. Jagr would spend just 2 seasons with the Capitals before being traded again to the Rangers. Meanwhile, Chris Beach, the big piece coming to Pittsburgh, would play just 198 NHL games and currently plays in the EIHL. Jagr's also kind of a rock star now, so yeah.
Jaromir Jagr continues to fend off Father Time.
Jumbo Joe was part of a jumbo trade in 2005. That's the year he traded in his snowsuit for a surfboard when he was sent to San Jose. Some players may take some time to get acclimated to a new team, but Thornton, he won the Art Ross and Hart Memorial Trophy despite splitting games with his former and new team in 2005-2006. Talk about silencing the critics.
I'm just very blessed to have a lot of good people around me. Thank you very much.
Chris CHELIOS was a Norris Trophy winner, Denny Savard was an elite scorer, and in the summer of 1990, they switched places. CHELIOS went on to win a few more Norris trophies and led the Blackhawks to a Stanley Cup final. He was thankful for the trade.
I miss Montreal, but I'm a lot happier where I am now.
See? Savard, however, never quite became the dominant player the Canadiens had hoped, but they did win a cup in 1993, so it's all good, Denny. Calgary had missed the playoffs 3 years in a row and were on the verge of a 4th when they traded IGINLA after 9 seasons as captain. The Penguins wanted IGINLA to improve their Stanley Cup chances, and the Flames simply wanted to get more youth in their system. Each team got what they wanted. This is a good one. On March 5th, 2014, the NHL trade deadline saw its first captain-for-captain swap. Ryan Callahan, you're off to Tampa Bay, and Marty St. Louis, say hello to New York City. The Rangers would advance to the Stanley Cup final that season, and Tampa made it to the final the very next season. So good trade all around, guys. The trade that shook the Leafs franchise. Clark to the Nordiques, Sundin to the Leafs. After Toronto was shown the door by the Canucks in the 1994 playoffs, change was imminent, and the result was the beloved Wendell Clark being traded. Doug Gilmour was named captain following Clark's exit, and he would fill the role superbly before he was traded to New Jersey in 1997. Once his bestie in Gretzky was traded, the Moose's days in Edmonton were bound to come to an end, and he requested a trade. In 1991, his wish was granted, and the bright lights of New York welcomed Messier with open arms. Things worked out pretty well there for Mess. Coming off of a season where he tallied 101 points, Ron Francis was shipped to Steeltown for most notably John Cullen. Cullen had 94 points in the 1990-91 season, and he would not get close to that again. Injuries derailed his career, and he was traded to the Leafs in 1993. As for Francis, he'd be a key cog in the Penguins' 1991 and 1992 Stanley Cup championships, and he even served as captain for a few seasons with Pittsburgh.
I've never won a cup, and it's the one thing that I haven't accomplished yet.
You know when players dump their teams in search of a championship? Well, Ray Bourque did it nearly flawlessly. Bourque and Dave Anderchuk were sent to a stacked Avalanche team, while the Bruins got a few players in return, notably Sammy Paulson and Brian Rolston. We can talk stats all we want, but when someone wins a Stanley Cup in a trade, they win.
Stanley Cup 2001.
Promised Mess I wouldn't do this.
You got by far the best player in the league, so why not ship him out of town, right? This is as big as it gets when it comes to captains being traded. The Oilers sent the Great One to LA for a whole bunch of players and ended up winning the Stanley Cup without Gretzky in 1990. However, he is still the Great One. Who won the trade? That debate